Hey, what's up, guys? Carl Got back with another video, and today I'm going to do my Attack on Titan review, episode 57, English dub review. So, here it goes. Episode starts out with uh, the guy from the previous episode there was like still handcuffed, or he kind of like has his like hands tied up and shit like that. The owl, I guess that's what they're calling him, the owl, actually turned himself into a titan there, and picks up one of the picks up one of the guards there and crushes them and shit like that. Then he crushes him and stuff like that to make the like kill all the guards and stuff, and the other guy gets pissed there, and he's like, what the fuck? He's like, why? He's like, why you didn't like turn yourself into a titan in the fucking first place and shit like that. To handle it when those people are trying to be more so you can save a lot of those people and shit. He said it was not his purposes to save everybody else, but it was mostly purpose to save him because he was like some type of special. Technically, he was some type of special thing. He was also part of the royal family and stuff like that. And they were talking about Astoria, mostly our not Astoria, but Mimir. So they were saying stuff about Mimir there, saying she was in one country she was like a name as a devil, and the other one she was named as a god there. So that was actually pretty interesting. He was actually saying some stuff like that with the with it there and stuff like that. uh, so we go back to the next scene. We go back to Aaron, and Aaron was talking about the how this guy actually lived his life and stuff. How he like turned into a thing there. He said it was kind of like real. He's kind of like what actually happened in real life and stuff like that with what's actually gonna happen and stuff like that. So they were saying a lot of stuff like that and crap. Aaron was actually saying, continuing with the story there, we go back to the guy there and the owl guy. And he was actually saying he was like kicking people off, like why, and the guy was asking the question saying why he actually was kicking people off and stuff like that, and he was saying something about like mostly he was kicking people off because they didn't want him. If he didn't kick people off, they will know he was the owl, I guess there. So they will know him. He was the owl and stuff like that. I guess that's what's actually happening with that and stuff. He was saying a lot of stuff about how he was saying a lot of stuff about it and stuff like that. um, you see the so um, so he was making all that stuff and crap like that. Back so in the next scene we're back with Mikasa and Armin are still in the jail cell and shit. The Girls Scout regiment there was gonna let him out and stuff like that. So Levi actually said, uh, "You're free to go and stuff. You have this much time and stuff like that." And he's like, Aaron's like, "Why? Why I have?" He's like, "What?" He was saying something about like we just did this crime there and stuff like that, where they actually caused the crime to actually happen to it, and then they're like, "Oh well, it's mostly Astoria. Astoria actually was actually released or actually gave you a release out, so you actually can tell the story of what actually happened and stuff. Mostly, um, they actually gave this Titan a name called the Attack Titan. So they called this Titan the Attack Titan there. So who is the Attack Titan? it's a Mirror's Attack Titan. I don't 100% know about that, but we might figure that out. so, so they're actually saying something about that and stuff. um, the story got like a letter from Mimir there and stuff like that. First time we actually seen her this whole freaking episode or this whole season. She was actually saying something about um, she wanted to marry her and shit like that. That just proves they're kind of like together, but mostly I guess in a in a sexual way. So she was actually writing to her saying about the letter and stuff. So she wrote her a letter and she was reading it and stuff like that. Then she was seeing some flashback what Mimir actually did in the past. There, and she's like, "What the frick?" and stuff like that. She's like, "What the fuck?" and stuff like that. Why there? I'm seeing all this shit and crap. So Eren, Mikasa, and Armin actually goes to her and saying, "Your Majesty," it's like and all that stuff. She's like, "Well, I'm not really royalty yet." Mimir, or a story actually was saying some stuff like that with it. So they're talking about in the court. They're talking about like what actually happened with these books, what Dr. Jaeger left was actually some interesting stuff where actually they said and stuff like that. And um, uh, the Girl Scout Regiment was actually saying something about how how Eren actually knows about a lot of this stuff and crap like that. and um and then he and then Eren went back, or we seen a flashback where Eren, like in season 2, we had seen the like Eren hit that Titan's hand and stuff like that, and then the Titan just backed off. And then he's like, he notices if it was his father. Technically, he knows it was his father. Got like remarried to his mom there, so it kind of, or Eren's mother there got his father actually got remarried to his mother there, and technically this other one was his first wife. I guess this is, I guess that was his first wife there and stuff. So that was pretty interesting there, and he didn't want to tell Mikasa or Armin there because that could be suspicious there and stuff like that. So Eren just like said back down, and he didn't want to say nothing at all. And then the end of the episode, we go back to the guy there, and he was saying something about like um, he wants to be a Titan, or he's like I'll like inject you and you can be a Titan for. He's like I can inject you and you can turn into a Titan and stuff like that, and so um, so they were mentioning that stuff. And then the end of the episode, he's like, take care of Armin and Mikasa and stuff like that. And he's like, who are they? And he's like, um, and stuff like that. And um, that's where the episode ends. Yep, that's pretty much it. Comment, rate my response to this parent videos. We like my videos. Please subscribe. Hit that bell notification if you want to see more of my uploads. Comment, rate my response to this parent videos. We like hang out. Out of your peace.